Well guys, 19.5 is here, and I'm here to hit you with some tips on how to maximize it. "19.5 is the last week of the Open. If you have made it this far, you have already separated yourself from the people who haven't. This is our last chance to maximize where we sit on the leaderboard, whether it be the leaderboard in your own gym, the worldwide leaderboard, or the custom leaderboards that you're creating and having fun with. This is our chance to make a push and climb up there as high as we can possibly get. If you're watching this, that means that you're still engaged. So let's go get after it. 19.5 is exactly what we all saw coming. Thrusters and chest to bar pull-up, but it's in a fashion in which you may not have seen coming. And that's 4x 33, 27, 21, 15, 9. 105 reps of thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups. I'm really excited to dive into this one with you guys. But I wanna make sure that you meet the standards fully. So go over to games.crossfit.com, download the scorecard, and make sure that you read through all the details of the workout. Throughout this Open, I have stressed the importance of warming up a lot. And I'm gonna do it again. Make sure you warm up well. We're gonna want to prime the aerobic system, but for this one, because it's such a stamina play, a muscle endurance play, we wanna prime the aerobic system in a way that gets to that point where we feel the first bead of sweat and then stop there. We just wanna feel warm. Next, I would suggest mobilizing. Long and relaxed muscles are strong muscles, and we wanna make sure that with a muscular endurance workout, we feel that way. And then just because this workout does get the heart rate really high, we wanna spike our heart rate a little bit before we get into this workout. Don't go too much, just a few little spurts of getting that heart rate really high and then settling it back down. For me, I do like 3 rounds of 10 to 15 calorie bike sprint. Super simple, just spike the heart rate, get it back down. From there, go ahead and play with the movements however you see fit. Take a little bit of time to relax, maybe rest 5 to 10 minutes and then go get after the workout. I know. I've said it a lot, crossover symmetry is below, but it's because it's the hips and shoulder routine that I go through. I think it works, I think it's great. The link is below in the description. Check that out. So let's dive into this workout. Know your limits. If you were to do Fran and you would break the round of 15 up, I don't even want you to think about doing a big set in that first round of 33. Don't even consider it. Know your limits. How you come out in the first 2 rounds and the approach you take in the first 2 rounds will very largely dictate what you're able to do in the last 3 rounds. If you come out too fast, you might just end up standing and staring at the bar and be too burnt out to be able to do your pull-ups, or you're just not gonna wanna do any more thrusters. We wanna get to that round of 15 and feel like we can kick things into gear, like we can do a big set, like we can really attack it, and we're on the up and up to finish out the workout. And just like Fran, this workout is won and lost in the round of 15. Maybe even in the round of 21 chest to bar pull-ups for those who are really gymnasty or have a large work capacity. For competitors, I think there's a really important way to approach this workout. When you come out in the first 2 rounds, it should feel like a hard jogging pace. I don't want you to come out too fast. A lot of people will make that mistake. Don't. Come out jogging in the first 2 rounds. Hard pace, but jogging. Then in that round of 21, try to determine where in the thrusters or chest to bar pull-ups you can start to pick up the pace. But we don't want to start picking up the pace and have to fall back down. We want to continue on an upward trajectory the whole time. Where do you start to make your pass in the round of 21? It might be at the end of it, it might be the beginning of it. It's up to you. Then when you get to the round of 15, you're really running hard. You're really picking up the pace and you're kicking into high gear. The round of 9, you are giving everything you've gotten at the full dead sprint. It's going to hurt, accept that. I would also really suggest taking a big deep breath when you get off of your thrusters going into the chest to bar pull-ups. Really just kind of settle your heart rate as quick as you can before you get up there, because the chest to bar pull-ups are so metabolic, it's gonna spike your heart rate again. And we don't want that to get too high where you're just sitting and standing and staring at the bar. Really, that's advice for everybody. But for the general athlete, I think it's important to differentiate where you're gonna kick it into gear. I think that the first 3 rounds are gonna be more of your jog pace. So let's manage the first 3 rounds, really choosing wisely what kind of sets we do. Sets of 5, that's great. Sets of 3 if you need to, that's totally fine. As long as you are choosing your breaks, you're being smart about when you take your breaks, and you're not letting the workout dictate that for you. Be smart about that, because we want to get to that round of 15 And we want to be able to choose to do a big set or not. Too many people will come out too hard, and when they get to the round of 15, they have no other option but to do doubles or singles. And then the round of 9 is just everything that we can give it all. And then for the individuals and folks who are scaling, the approach is going to be pretty similar for the most part. Your fitness level is going to be that of kind of in the general athlete realm, but maybe you don't have the skill set to be able to do a chest to bar pull-up. But something really important to note is the fact that you're doing jumping pull-ups. Because you're doing jumping pull-ups, you're actually going to build up more lactic acid in your legs, and it will make the thrusters even harder. For most athletes, because the thrusters are going to interfere with the chest to bar pull-ups, they have to be smart about how they do their thrusters so their chest to bar pull-ups don't fail. But yours is almost flipped around. Make sure that when you're doing your jumping pull-ups, you're really pulling and focusing on using your upper body to get yourself up over the bar rather than your legs. If you're jumping too hard and too much and using too much of your legs, you're gonna build up lactic acid, and those thrusters are gonna be really difficult when you get back to them. And then when you take your breaks, which I still think is important to take some breaks during your jumping pull-ups, when you take your breaks, like stand tall, drop your arms to your side, take a deep breath. Same thing is because when lactic acid builds up, getting oxygen back to your muscles helps alleviate the lactic acid. This is a great way to look at this workout. Take your Fran time and then quadruple that. That will kind of give you a ballpark estimate of how long you're going to be working. So if your Fran time is in that 4-minute range, that means you have roughly a 12 to 16 minute workout ahead of you. Make sure you pace yourself for that duration of a workout. So before you go hit this workout, I do want to make sure that there are some tips of efficiency that I can help provide you guys so when you get into this workout, you can really maximize it and get the best score possible. When you're doing your thrusters, one of the biggest things that I see is people's chest dropping forward. What I want you to think about is keeping your chest as vertical as possible. Chest up, chest spread, and nice and wide and strong. Couple things. It's gonna create a very good front rack position for you, and it's also gonna allow for the best bar path overhead. The better the bar path, the more efficient and less energy we are spending to get it overhead, which means it's less metabolic, and reps go faster. And then the second thing that I see a lot with thrusters from athletes is pausing for long periods of time overhead. When you do the thruster, I really want you to think about getting the bar overhead and flashing it back to the front rack. The cycle rate really matters because there's a lot of time under tension that can happen if you're sitting and pausing overhead for long periods of time. All you're doing is just tiring out your shoulder and making the workout more metabolic. If you're going to rest, do it in the front rack or just drop the bar. If you do drop the bar, make sure that your breaks are quick and you're being mindful of the amount of time that you're taking during your rest period. And then for the chest to bar pull-ups, if you guys have watched my 19.4 tips, I actually kind of went through that and explained some of the efficiency tips on how to do that. But just to kind of reiterate those, what I want you guys to think about is staying really long during your chest to bar pull-up. There's almost a rhythm that I like to keep. And that's kick my feet, pop my hips, pull. Kick, pop, pull. Kick, pop, pull. And the kick is when your feet are swinging forward and I'm at the bottom, right? I'm hitting right about that bottom of my swing. I'm getting ready to stop my feet right out in front of me, pop my hips, and pull with my arms. Once that happens, I swing my feet back and start the process over again. So if you're doing butterfly chest to bar pull-ups, you're going to kick, pop, pull, bring your feet and swoop your feet back behind you. That restarts the process. But if you're doing regular kipping pull-ups, you're going to kick, pop, pull. And when you do that, once you pull and you got your chest to the bar, you're gonna be leaving your feet out in front of you a little bit longer. And once you start to straighten your arms, then allow your feet to swing back, and that starts the cycle of your kipping pull-up. Once that starts and you get your feet back behind you, again, restart. Kick, pop, pull. I think that's really gonna help you guys. And then for the jumping pull-up, it's jump and pull, but jump, pull, straighten your arms, take a breath. Jump, pull, straighten your arms, take a breath. Your breath may be quick, so it may be a little bit faster than that. You choose your rhythm, but just find ways to kind of keep yourself on pace and on cue. Here's the reality of it, guys. There is a lot of work that lies ahead of us. This is really where we find out what we're made of. The people who can get to the end of the open when there's a lot of grueling work ahead of us, and they can dig down deep, they can pull the grit out of themselves, and they can really push through the finish line. So look, if you're watching this video, I know one thing about you. You're one of those athletes that when all the other athletes are walking through the finish line and just moseying on through, you're the one running. You're the one running through the finish line, giving everything they got until the last second. You're that athlete. I'm that athlete. Let's go get after it. Well guys, this Open has been so much fun. I have really enjoyed my time with you guys. I'm so thankful for all the support you guys have given me, the great feedback. I really appreciate all of it. Every view, every comment, every subscribe. It means the world to me. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate the heck out of all of you. Make sure that you are sharing these videos with your friends who can use them and all your fellow CrossFitters. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. I don't want you to miss out on all the fun we're having out here. And do me a favor, go enjoy this one with your community. Hug your friends, high five your community, and let's take some time to celebrate all the learning and growth that we have gotten out of this Open. We've achieved so much, and this is only setting us up for another great year. I'm really excited for what this year has to bring for us. All right guys, I'll see you in the next video. And guys, run the freaking Open. Let's go.